Welcome back. Our next stop is Petra, one of the 7 new wonders of the world. This is my 4th one. I've already been to the Great Wall of China, the Colosseum, the Taj Mahal, now Petra. To get to Petra, it took about 4 hours on the bus from Amman, and it costs 10 dinar one way. The bus thankfully drops you right outside the entrance to Petra. However, I dropped my luggage off at my accommodation, so I don't have to be carrying around a massive bag with me. It's going to already be tough enough, I think. I've heard that it's huge. I didn't expect it to be as big as what people are saying it's going to be, so it'll be interesting to see if they're right or they're exaggerating. This is what you can see from the entrance. So quite a lot of mountains. I don't know, would you call it mountains or hills? And then, of course, it's ruined by Crowne Plaza. Crowne Plaza's built a bloody hotel right inside the entrance to Petra. So we've got all the buses here that bring all the tourists, and then just down here is the entrance where the visitor center is. So let's go there now. As I mentioned in the last episode, I have the Jordan Pass, so it includes 1-day entry to Petra, so I don't need to pay anything else. I did add on an extra day, which I think was an extra 8 dinar, which I think will definitely be worth it, because in the next episode I'm going to take you to a less known entrance to Petra, which will give us an amazing view after an hour or so hike. So make sure you subscribe and join me in the next episode as well. I think that will be just as good, even better. Right here is where you get the Jet bus. So Jet is the bus company that's very popular here in Jordan and takes you throughout the country, and that's the bus I got. Drops you there, and just a very quick short walk to the visitor center. And here is the entrance. Welcome to Petra. Now, some places require you to pay cash. Not many, not all of them, but some do. And ATMs here, they charge 5 dinar to withdraw money. So try to get money out only once to save yourself on some outrageous fees, or go to like a currency exchange place if you can find one. So I went into the ticket entrance and they scan your ticket. That's where they require you to show your passport. So make sure you bring your passport. I've read and heard that they don't accept photos or photocopies. It needs to be the original, so make sure you bring it. Here is a little map of the main trail. So visitor center, we're here. Now you can walk all this main trail, and it's about 4 kilometers. And there's a part of it which is over 1,200 meter long gorge, which will be amazing, I think. You'll feel so cool. So let's aim to do that. Down here we've got many horses that will take people some of the way along this trail. Nah, no horses, thank you.
Where are you from?
Australia.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yes.
Here's the horse is free with ticket. You have your ticket?
Yeah, I got a
You
ticket.
can see it. It's writing for you in it. The horse is paid already.
Oh, already paid?
Yeah, it's already paid. I'll show you one thing. Here, I'm working with the government.
Okay, yeah.
So the horse already covering now.
Yeah.
Who's showing you? Have idea what I'm talking about. Then you're deciding.
Nah, even if it's free, I don't want
Love the
to.
people right.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
if you are interested to do the Indiana Jones trail, where you could see the treasury from up, brother. Just to give you some idea. This is what
yeah,
we do.
yeah.
See the treasury from up like this.
Yeah,
This is the Indiana Jones trail.
yeah.
If you like to do this like 1 hour.
Okay.
Enjoy, brother.
Yeah, thank
Nice
you.
people.
And what's your
Australia.
name?
My name is Tarek.
Tarek.
What's
Nice
your
to
name?
meet you. Nathan.
Nathan, nice to meet you,
Nice to
brother.
meet you.
If you like to do it, we give you a horse.
Nah, no horse for me.
Anyway, it's covered with the ticket.
Thank you very much.
All the
Have a good
best.
day. Apparently it's free with the ticket. Now, it sounds familiar. I think I've read that somewhere. But of course they will want to tip. I am sure probably a generous tip at the end. So hardly anything is ever truly free. We're not far from the entrance, but it's not even the gorge either, but I'm just loving how the rocks are like enclosing this path. And we've got our first signs of Petra. So Petra is not the name of that famous building I'm sure you all have seen. Petra is the name of the complex, or well, the ancient city. So Petra used to be the capital city of this area, and it was a very rich area because it was the central point of like the Silk Road. So everything came through here. And this ancient town began in the 4th century BC. And then about 5 centuries later, the Romans took it over. And then I'm not sure when the city was lost because like everyone started using the sea and the Silk Road wasn't popular anymore. And then it was rediscovered in the 19th century and became even more famous in Indiana Jones, which is what the Tariq was saying. He said you can get a view of the famous building, the Treasury, from up above. And it's, I don't know, they nickname it the Indiana Jones Trail because that's where he went. So we've got like some little caves. I'm gonna head up one of these and see what's inside the cave. So the Treasury, what it's called, some people seem to think it wasn't actually a treasury and it's a tomb, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. And then over here we've got a double-story kind of building. So I've just come up this little path off the main trail, and here we got a building that used to be the feast hall. I'm not sure if we're allowed to go off the path, but no one's here. I'm not going to destroy it. So nothing left in here. Looks like someone has been cooking here. And there's one more little cave. Yeah, in here, nothing much, but it's a lot cooler, of course. Nice shade. But look at these views. So I reckon this must be the start of the gorge. Like, it looks very narrow, and then I think the horses won't be going through the gorge, so they finish here and then the walk starts there. But I can't believe I'm here in the 4th new wonder of the world, and only 3 more to go. So I think it's Machu Picchu, Chichen Itza, and I think Christ the Redeemer is the other one. So I haven't been to them yet, but undoubtedly I will at some point. So here is the start of the gorge. So 1,250 meters long. Of course you got people playing dress up for photos, but it hasn't been as touristy and as many touts as I thought. I think it's quite well regulated. Of course you just have to be careful. They're gonna just always want tips. But it's the gorge allows you to hide from the sun, so it doesn't make it as hot. I wish it didn't have like the flat concrete path and it was more rugged. That would be even better. Oh my god, I love this gorge so much. So this gorge, I think you'll come straight out in front of the Treasury. So the moment like you turn the corner, it's going to be right in front of you, which will be amazing. It's so high. And if it rains, you're safe. Like, this rock is overhanging by like 10 meters or something. So if it's raining, you can hide from there. There's no horses, but they have like these golf buggies that come through. And look at these colors on the rocks. There's so many different colors. You got white, cream, red, different reds, brown, and I guess like all these streaks. I guess it's from like the water running off from the top of this. Right here, it's like a little doorway. I don't even know how anyone could get up there, what it would be for. Did people like live there, or was it for like religious reasons? But God, why would you do it all the way up there? And here we go, I can see the light, and on the other side is what you have all seen before. The Treasury. Wow, it's so much bigger than I expected. Look at it. So impressive, and just all cut and carved out of the rock face. And of course, people got camels. There's a gift shop right out the front of it. You never get photos with the gift shop out the front of Petra. And no entry, unfortunately. But look, it's so high. So there are a couple of different options. You can go up these stairs, and there's a viewpoint just up here, which it'll be okay. And this direction, it looks like you can go right up to the top, but I don't know if it will take you around to see. But I kind of want to go up here because less people are going that way. So I just can see that a viewpoint to the one that's on the right when you're facing it, you have to pay 10 dinar for a single viewpoint, or 15 dinar for two. And then to get an electric car from here to the visitor center, it's 15 dinar. Maybe this is the viewpoint as well. So there's one there and one there, and you can pay for both. Don't know why you'd want to pay for both though. So the staircase to the left, you can only go down it. So next to the entrance to the viewpoint that's on the right, you can go left, which will take you away from the Treasury. And then eventually there's a path or stairs that will take you up, I guess maybe behind the Treasury, and then you can walk down this way. Yeah, so that's the viewpoint entrance you have to pay for, and then we can keep going this way. It says there's a free shuttle bus in 2 kilometers. So I think maybe this is the free shuttle bus that takes you from the visitor center to what they call Little Petra, which I'm planning to do tomorrow. And here we're coming to another building, Street of Facades. So there's rock-cut tombs. Wow, so up there's an entrance, maybe a tomb was there. We've got another one down here. A couple more further down. So this tomb was built between 200 BC and 200 AD. I guess they don't know exactly. And it's called the Thief's Tomb, like the nickname, because there's stories that a thief took refuge in the tomb to avoid capture. And we can go in, I think. Well, I think shoes off, yeah. It's a shop selling perfumes, soaps, spices. Oh, making use of the tombs. And then here we've got another entrance, but they either didn't cut this out or they've filled it with this rock. There's just a small little room. And here we got more of a cutout. Look at those narrow stairs here. And it's like you can't even, like that's the start of the stairs. You can't get there. There's no stairs to get up there. And then it doesn't even take you anywhere. As soon as you leave the tomb area where we just were, it opens up massively. So you've got like another theatre. I think there's like high sacrifice area somewhere here. I don't know if maybe this is it. No, high place of sacrifice trail. So I think if we follow it up here, that's gonna take us back to the Treasury, which I wanted to go to. And you can go up there. Wow, so many different options. I don't know which place to go. So many little cutouts here and nothing in them. It's just like empty little rooms which they used. Wow, look at all these markings. I don't know if it's like paint or it's just natural coloring from the rocks. And down here, I wonder what these little places were for. Ah, great, we can go inside this one. So they're just like cubicles. I don't know what they would be for. Maybe something was like kept here. So let's head up there. Maybe we'll head up this trail that will take us to the Treasury tomorrow. So we've just walked up here and we got another entrance there, but it looks a lot newer. And it looks like it was crafted with machinery. Well, I don't know how they would have done it otherwise. But this is another tomb. Ah, wow. So I reckon this, although it looks very small, would this be where they kept some bodies? Or maybe here in this part? In there? There's all these holes in the round there, so this must be like the tombs. Like this would be big enough for a body. It smells like camel in here. I wonder if they keep the camels here. This one's darker, but I think bigger, but there's no holes in these sections. Just up here we have an amazing view of Petra. It's like so vast. So we've walked through the narrow gorge and now we're into the open valley, maybe. And then there's more rock carvings there. But let's have a look at this bloody view. Oh my god, I had no idea Petra was this big. Like, I've never even really seen or heard much about it except for the Treasury. But there's like all caves straight ahead in this field. And then more, I guess, tombs. So there's so many tombs, that's why they say Petra is pretty much like just a tomb city. And they don't believe like the Treasury was like a treasury. Now we're going to head down to the theatre and see how it compares to the theatre we saw in Amman in one of the previous episodes. I can tell from here it looks a lot older and a lot worse for wear. Here we are at the main theatre. So this was built in the 1st century AD by the Nabateans, the ones who originally constructed Petra. And it is built very similar to the theatre we saw in Amman. So this one as well is cut from the rock cliff, so it's not freestanding, it's part of the cliff. And it also holds 6,000 spectators as well. Now it's not as clearly defined, but there are 3 sections just like in the one in Amman for VIPs, regular citizens, and then like the lower class. But it has partially been restored apparently, but it doesn't really look like it. It's very run down. They're not sure what it used to be used for when the Nabateans were in control. They think it might have been something to do with like the pilgrimage, because people came to Petra for pilgrimages. But when the Romans took over, it was their usual like theatre and plays. And we've got cats now taking over the theatre. Oh shit. Oh god. Wearing glasses and still wind in my eyes. Oh my god, the wind's picked up so much. I don't know if you can really see it or hear me, but oh god, big gusts of winds behind me. You can see the cloud of dust, but the wind's coming from behind me. Now behind me is where we just came from up there, so there's all like the tombs behind me. It's all in my eyes. So I just read there were 3 devastating earthquakes, one in 364 AD I think, then another 190 years later, and then another one 190 years later again. So I wonder after the 3rd devastating earthquake was when Petra ceased to exist and was lost until the 19th century. But quite crazy that it was roughly about 190 years between each of the 3 earthquakes. Here we are at Colonnaded Street, which was built in the 2nd or 3rd century, and this is where they would have had like markets. People would have been selling things, and we're heading down here, which will be the end of the main trail of Petra. But here we've still got like some columns, pillars remaining, hundreds probably of pillars lining this main street. It would have looked magical. The number of things you can see along this main trail is surprisingly high. I wasn't expecting there to be as many things to see, and I keep thinking we're at the end of the trail, and we're not. It just still keeps on going. Here we are at the Petra Great Temple Complex. It's a huge complex, about over 7,000 square meters in different, like spread out over different areas. And it was built over 2,000 years ago. So this area had like 60 columns, and you can see like some partially still remain as well. And then up here, there's some that have like collapsed. And you can see how they were created by the segments. Here we got the remains of one pillar that has collapsed, so it's fallen over and then it's like separated. So they'd stack these on top of each other and form the pillars. So this is how they are without the gap, and then all the ones up here have the gap because they haven't been restored. Here's just a small overview of the Petra Great Temple Complex. But they said it spans like over 11,000 square meters because it's like in different areas. This is like a VIP theatre, very intimate again, just like the Odeon Theatre we saw in the main in the Amman Theatre. This is Qasir al-Bint Temple Complex. So it's Petra's oldest temple complex, and it's almost perfectly square. It's 27 meters by 27, and it's 23 meters high. This is by far the biggest building that we've seen, I think. Well, freestanding. It's not cut into the rock faces like the Treasury. So the pharaoh of the time promised to give his daughter's hand in marriage to the engineer that was capable of creating a system to supply water to his palace. So they've found many water channels near here because of that reason. So this is what it would have looked like when it was all intact. And it was built between 25 BC and 25 AD. I've done this a few times because I kept thinking we were at the end of the trail, and it just kept on going. So Petra is so much bigger than I expected. Seeing the Treasury in real life was amazing after having seen it in movies and everywhere when you're talking about Jordan and Petra. Tomorrow I'm going to take you to a lesser known site, but I think it's going to be more impressive and a lot more physical. So join me at the next stop for the best part of Petra. See you then. And to get the free shuttle back to the visitor center, you go to the end of the main trail where the restaurants are. Now, before you get to the restaurant, you go right, follow the path, and then you'll see a sign that says free shuttle bus. So it will take you to another little village area first, and then it will take you to the visitor center. So here's the times, and comes every half an hour.